Good morning, Nova Scotia. I'm Dan Budgell, and this is your Lighthouse Local for Saturday, August the 22nd. We're heading into the weekend with new developments in Nova Scotia's ongoing debate over Indigenous fishing rights. A group representing commercial fishers says it plans to appeal the Supreme Court of Nova Scotia ruled it did not have standing to pursue a case involving the treaty lobster fishery operated by Spiganegatick First Nation. Spiganegatick launched its self-regulated treaty fishery in southwestern Nova Scotia in 2020. The Unified Fisheries Conservation Alliance had gone to court challenging the federal decision connected with the fishery. Following the court's ruling, the organization says it intends to appeal. The issues of treaty fishing rights have been one of the most closely watched fishery stories in Nova Scotia over the past several years, particularly in communities along the province's southwestern coast. We'll continue following the appeal and what comes next. Now, from southwestern Nova Scotia to the eastern shore, where a project years in the making has reached a major milestone. The Whale Sanctuary Project has signed a 20-year lease with the province of Nova Scotia for Crown land and coastal waters near Wine Harbour. The lease covers 83 hectares and gives the organization the location it needs to continue developing what it needs, to which it says would be the first sanctuary of its kind in North America for whales retired from marine parks. The plan includes a massive floating ocean enclosure, roughly equivalent in the area to 50 football fields. Work is already underway to refurbish a wharf that would eventually support the sanctuary's whale care facilities. Installation of the enclosure is expected to begin next spring. The privately funded project is expected to cost around $15 million to build and about $1.5 million each year to operate. There are still hurdles ahead. The project requires permits from the Federal Department of Fisheries and Oceans, and organizers still need to raise additional money. There has also been opposition from some neighboring property owners who have raised concerns about access traffic and the impact of the development. So while Friday's signed lease is a major step, there is still considerable distance to go before whales actually arrive in Wine Harbour. Now, an important warning this morning if you or someone in your family has ever been the victim of investment fraud. The Nova Scotia Security Commission say scammers are impersonating its staff in an attempt to steal even more money from people who have already been victimized. In one case, a Nova Scotian who'd previously lost money through investment fraud received a letter that appeared to come from the Security Commissions and FinTrack. The letter claimed the person had been approved to receive $125,000 in restitution. There was a catch. The victim was told to transfer $10,000 first in order to verify the account. Of course, the letter was fake. The Security Commission said neither it nor FinTrack sent it. Officials say if someone claiming to represent a regulator or a law enforcement agency promises to recover stolen money but requires you to send money first, it is a scam. And unfortunately, these recovery scams deliberately target people who have already been through the stress and financial damage of being defrauded once. If you receive something suspicious, do not reply on the phone number, email, or address, website included in the message. Contact the organization independently using verified contact information. Now to the environment. Nova Scotians are being asked their thoughts on another 5,100 hectares of land and water being considered for protection. Public consultation opened Friday. The proposed area include parts of the Marguerite River watershed and old-growth forest in Cape Breton, coastal land along the eastern shore, and areas containing forest, coastline, and lake shoreline in Halifax. The consultation gives Nova Scotians an opportunity to comment before final decisions are made about the proposed wilderness area. Now let's get you onto the road. If you're traveling through Colchester County this weekend, there is a significant closure to know about. Upham Bridge on Trunk 6 at Bayhead is closed until further notice for repairs. The provincial detour takes drivers along Malagash Road, Highland Road, West Hattamagoose Road, and Slade Road, and of course signs are in place. And with plenty of construction still happening across Nova Scotia, it's worth checking 511 before starting a longer weekend drive. Now let's get into your Saturday weather. Around Halifax, we're starting this morning mostly cloudy with around 18 degrees. We should get some sunshine breaking through before clouds increase later in the day. The afternoon high should reach about 23 degrees. Tonight stays fairly mild, dropping to around 16. Elsewhere around the province, expect the usual August differences between coastal and communities further inland. The Annapolis Valley can warm up considerably when the sun comes through, while communities directly along the Atlantic coast may stay cooler. Through Truro and central Nova Scotia, we're looking at another comfortable late August Saturday. Moving northeast towards Antigonish and across the causeway into Cape Breton, keep an eye on your local forecast if you're making outdoor plans. And through southwestern Nova Scotia and the Yarmouth area, the ocean will continue to have a significant influence on temperatures. If you're trying to decide which weekend day gets the barbecue, beach trip, hike, yard work, or anything involved being outside, today is looking like the better bet. Sunday turns more humid, with periods of rain expected around Halifax and unsettled conditions in the part of the province. So today may be the day to get out there. Now to sports and the weekend calendar. Professional soccer remains front and center in Halifax, with both the Halifax Wanderers and Halifax Tides in the summer portion of their seasons. And across Nova Scotia, community fields, ball diamonds, rinks, and recreation facilities are busy with summer tournaments and events. This is exactly the kind of local sports coverage we want to build at Lighthouse Radio. If your community has a team, athlete, or tournament that deserves some attention, send it our way. The same goes for everything else happening this weekend. Community breakfasts, concerts, fundraisers, festivals, markets, exhibitions, volunteer events, or something completely new to your corner in Nova Scotia. We want to hear about it. Because a good local story shouldn't become invisible just because it happens outside of Halifax. And before we go, a reminder to enjoy the good part of the weekend weather while we got it. Saturday should offer some decent opportunities outside, while Sunday is looking wetter and considerably more humid. Whatever you're doing this weekend, Lighthouse Radio can come along with you. The Lighthouse Radio app is available on iOS, Android, and all Alexa connected devices. Lighthouse Local is proudly sponsored by Sackville Driving School, the road to your driving success. sackvilledrivingschool.ca. I'm Dan Budgell. Have a great Saturday, Nova Scotia. Stay safe, enjoy your weekend, and we'll keep you connected with what's happening in the communities across the province. This is your Lighthouse Local on Lighthouse Radio.